Okay, since we have three, I'm going to suggest we get going because, and then if Sean joins, that'll work. We only have a few action items to get through, and I have a call that I have to make in 15 minutes, and so I'm hopeful that we can get through here fairly quickly. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Peter Van Rye. I'm the new Director of Utilities. I started in March. And so as part of being the Director of Utilities, I found out I'm the Director of this board as well. And so I think right at the beginning of March, we met once to have a quick board meeting to go over some things. And so we're now having another board meeting because we have a few action items and a few items to cover. So I'm going to start with a roll call. I see that we have on the call from the board, Maria Sabata.
Here.
Brad Power.
Here.
And then myself, Peter Van Rye. Also on the call is Steve Simon, the Deputy Director of Engineering for Utilities. Michael Miller, our outside legal counsel. Ian Elfner. Ian, is your role? I'm sorry, I don't have your role.
Commercial real estate broker, previously working on the project with the team. So it's been a while and it's been inactive for quite a while. So I was kind of curious of my role here for this call as well.
Okay, I think we have one thing that you are needed for on this. And then Brenda Varner, who will soon be with the utilities next week, who's helping us with the meeting, and then Allison McKinney Brown, who's our attorney for legal for City of Englewood. Okay, first is approval of minutes, and so can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the May 6th meeting?
I will move that the minutes be approved.
I'll second. This is Maria.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? I hear none, so it carries 3-0. This is a public meeting, and recognizing that this is the opportunity for public comment. Brenda, do we have anybody on the call from the public?
No, there is no one on the call from the public.
Okay. Okay, we're on to new business, and the first item first issue on new business is the annual insurance renewal. We had a meeting last week with our Steve Peterson, our insurance broker, and he's provided the attached schedule for insurance for the eMurph properties for from the date 10/30/2020 to 10/30/2021. So these are coming. This renewal needs to occur in the next few days. And so, do we have any questions on the insurance renewal?
Yeah, Peter, I don't know that any of us can answer, or anybody can answer this question. I was just curious on the directors and officers part, what internet liability means.
Good question. Mike, do you happen to have any thoughts on that?
No, I don't. I'm assuming they possibly means if you're hacked or something, you've got liability. But I'm not positive of that.
Okay, so it's like a cyber. Yeah, okay, that probably makes sense. That makes a little more sense to me. Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the new proposed insurance amounts and the ability to execute the new policy from 10/30/2020 to 10/30/2021?
This is Maria Sabata. I move to approve the insurance rates premiums as identified in this memo.
And Brad Power will second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call for approval. Maria Sabata,
Aye.
Brad Power,
Aye.
and myself, Peter Van Rye, aye. I did see that number popped up, 303-358-4139.
Yeah, that's Sean. He's listening in.
Okay, welcome, Sean. Okay, on to the next item of business, which is the annual outside council scope of work renewal. Spencer Fain engagement letter, and that's in your packet as well. Are there any questions on that? Or Mike, do you have anything that you'd like to highlight on that? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the annual scope of work with Spencer Fain?
I'm happy to leave the meeting if you would prefer and come back.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I say I'm happy to leave
Oh.
the meeting and come back if you would prefer.
I think it's okay. Can I get a motion to approve the new contract?
Yeah, Brad Power will make a motion to approve the Spencer Fain contract agreement for the coming year.
And this is Maria Sabata. I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call. Maria Sabata,
Aye.
Brad Power,
Aye.
and Peter Van Rye, aye. Okay, and Sean, I guess if Sean's able to go off mute. Not sure if he's able to.
Aye.
Okay, thank you,
I
Sean.
think I'm unmuted. Aye.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're good. Do we want to go back and do the other one?
Um,
I'll vote yes for those.
okay. We'll count him as an aye on the other one as well.
And I thank the
Okay.
board.
I'm sorry, what?
I thank the board. I appreciate it.
Well, we thank you for your help as well. Look forward to another year of it. Okay, the last item is Xcel Energy easement on Shea property. And I think, Ian, this is why why you requested it, were requested at the meeting. Maria DeAndre has the most information on this, but it's my understanding, and this, I'll try and work my way through this, that Xcel is requiring an easement for a small portion of land that's near an intersection that's on the Shea property. Now, we're the underlying owners, but Shea is the leaseholder. And what we have been informed of is that we don't actually issue the easement, that Xcel needs to get the easement issued from Shea. And so I think the request is that, Ian, if you're able to, I guess, work with connecting Shea to Xcel to let them know that we don't actually issue the easement, that Shea issues the easement because they're the leaseholder of the property. Allison, did I get all that right?
Oh, I think that Peter, there's.
Or
Um,
Mike?
Peter, I didn't give legal advice on that at all, so I think you need to refer back to Mike.
Okay, Mike, I see you're chiming in.
Yeah, the easement should, the grantor should be Shea, and Beamer should simply consent to the easement. And the reason for that is that the easement will have certain obligations of the landowner to not do certain things that would interfere with their easement, et cetera. We have no control over that, so we don't want to be the grantor. We don't want to be making any covenants. We just want to get the property. So what we've done in the past is that we have consented to these easements, but we've not been the grantor. So Xcel should prepare the easement and send it to both Shea and us to sign. And if there's any questions, you should have the Xcel person just get in touch with. Assuming that the board is agreeable to consent.
Okay,
I think the only action the board needs is whether or not they agree to consent. And I don't think you really have a choice. The lease requires you to cooperate within the easements that are necessary to tenant's operation.
okay. And my understanding on this is it's a small little triangle piece that's right next to an intersection. It's really, it's a pretty small piece of property. Because basically they put their line in and then clipped outside the easement itself, and now they're trying to just clean up that easement. Is that correct?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Okay, I believe that's the case. So being new to this, Ian, is that part of what you do as part of working with Shea and as a lessor?
Well, I mean, typically we'd be under, just to take a step back, we'd be under a active listing agreement. At this point, you know, we don't have an active agreement. It's been a while since we've had one, and you know, that all kind of happened before. I think we kind of slowed things down, you know, when Maria, you know, was transitioning into the role that she was in and trying to get up to speed with everything that was happening. But, you know, I guess the question I have is, you know, is the city or eMRF at this point interested in trying to move some of this land in some way, shape, or form?
I would say that my understanding is that we have 3 or 4, I think it's 3 active interested parties into some of the property, whether it's a lease. I feel like there was one that was an interest in purchase. My understanding thus far is that council's position on policy on this is that we are not to sell eMRF land. But that was a council ago, so there's a new council now.
Yeah, it's been a while since that.
Peter,
Yes,
if I could make a suggestion, since this was not on the agenda, perhaps at the next regularly scheduled eMRF meeting, whenever that may be, we could put this topic on the agenda for discussion.
okay,
Because Ian is right, he does not have an active listing on our behalf for this property. So I don't think it's fair for us to try to expect him to follow up on any things that we would request at this point. So maybe in the not too distant future, we could schedule an eMRF meeting to talk about whether or not we want to solicit for a formal listing of the property. And then also talk about whether or not at some point, it's maybe not the best time to talk about sales in terms of where we are in the real estate cycle, but we haven't gone back to council in a while to talk to them about whether or not eMRF should entertain sales of property in the future, maybe lease with a purchase agreement like the hospital has.
sure.
So maybe that's something that we could talk about at the next meeting.
I think that's an outstanding idea and an outstanding approach.
And while you're considering that, Peter, you may have already gotten a call. I got a call from the people who have the apartments. MKS is the name they use. And they wanted to know whether there would be an opportunity for them to purchase the property that they're now leasing. And I referred them to you. And that may be the same.
Yeah,
I didn't know what the city.
Yeah, and I have had initial discussions with Maria on this, and to Brad's point, we did not put this on this agenda for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Because we need to take a step back and figure out what we want to do from a policy perspective. So it is a future agenda item that I think Brad's absolutely on point with that. As far as the Xcel energy easement, I think I guess we'll just plan to circle back with Xcel and inform them that they need to work through Shea on this, and that we'll agree to the easement being granted. And maybe that's the end of this issue. And then as far as the future, we will have another meeting, and or the next board meeting, we'll make sure that the discussion is on more of a property strategy down there. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that was all the business we had to cover. So unless does anybody else have anything else to discuss? Okay, hearing nothing, we will adjourn. Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
Take care.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.